Hello everyone, welcome to the Yas Marina circuit for the first live stream that I have done since Singapore. It has been a long time, wow. Feels so good. Eventually managed to get someone from BT's attention and they sorted out our issues. So, and hopefully if it'll stay back up and we'll be able to live stream the last ever official CRC race here at the Yas Marina circuit. Of course, talking about it, it is really strange that CRC is going to be ending this weekend. Of course, I'll be saying, obviously there will be a goodbye event next week, which will be live streamed on this channel as well. Which, I just want to say, if there's any time during the next few weeks where I start to look like I'm getting a little emotional and you call me sad for getting emotional over an AI series, well, basically, this series has been my life for the past 9 years, so it is a big deal to be saying goodbye to it. It was a big decision to close it. Just to understand, I will be obviously reiterating everything as the weekend goes on, but I am making this decision. I do feel that I have made the right decision to be ending CRC. I mean, to be fair, I have ran it for longer than I ever thought I was going to run it. I have ran it for much longer, in fact, than I ever thought that it would run. I mean, when I started it, I think that there were so many people who I was telling about it, but thought that it might stop soon. I'm pretty sure they'd be absolutely mind blown if they find that it's been running up until now. And CRC can end. It was quite popular. I can feel pleased about that. And I'll have time for more things to do for 2017. I mean, I do hope that I will explain a lot more as the weekend goes on, but I do hope that everyone understands I did make this decision for the best. It's what's best for me, and it is really what's best for me. And it's not that I no longer had enjoyment out of running it, because I still do. It's just it's not the running it that's the thing that makes the reason why why I'm ending it, because I do still enjoy running it when the races happen. But when the races, as FP2 is underway, it's just when the races don't, or not when the races don't happen, it's when I'm spending all my time getting things ready for it that I don't enjoy. I'll explain more of the extent. Particularly, I want to save all my goodbyes for the goodbye events. I want to save all my explanation for then, which will take place next week. But now I can actually explain how the goodbye event is going to work. On this live stream. Basically, how it's going to work is, obviously there will be the usual prize givings for this year's champions. There will be the usual prize giving. And then, rather than a race of champions, instead of a race of champions, which is what the usual ceremony is, there is actually going to be a mini championship There's actually going to be a mini championship as Carry On Peace takes out the Bollard there, going into the final corner. There is actually going to be a mini championship ahead, where basically it's going to be I think it's going to be like 25% races. This mini championship is going to be. It's going to be a 4-race championship, with each round being held on each of the games, with one round being held on each of the games I've ever used for CRC. So there'll be a round on GP3, a round on GP4, a round on R Factor, and of course a round on R Factor 2. Most probably with a 2016 mod. And then there will be some speeches about everything, obviously from me. And then there will be a video of all my memories, of basically all the memories I have from CRC. But it does feel so good to be back streaming. Of course, there are support races this weekend. The CGP3 finale is coming up later today. And I believe that is set to be an interesting one. So Carry On Peace completes FP2. Or not completes FP2, completes her first lap of FP2. Beaten by Lucy Woodward, who does a 141.6. Then Will Buchan goes faster in a 41.4. Will Esley is on a lap. The dominant champion, who I believe who has had, statistically, the most dominant season that anyone has had in CRC history. Statistically. He's won 12 Grand Prix, which I believe is a CRC record. "12 race wins, which I'm pretty sure is a record. And even since securing the title, he's shown absolutely no signs whatsoever of slowing down. Absolutely no signs of slowing down. He's continued to dominate the league as Alex Morris to the 140.1. And Will Esley goes a little bit slower, but usually what's actually been happening in the past few races is Moores has looked faster in practice, but then comes qualifying and bam, Will Esley absolutely stuns the opposition. As Avi Legit completes a lap. Same old OBS, same old crashing. It actually made things difficult when it came to recording the race. I actually used Shadowplay to record the races because if I'd used OBS and it had crashed like that, that would have been the recording gone. So the crashing works a lot worse when it comes to recording races than on streaming races, because with streaming you can just start up OBS again, and then as Alex Moore's improves, you can just start up streaming again, just OBS again, but with recording you can't, because the recording then is gone. That is it. But Wood Esley, having the most dominant seat, has had that this year, statistically, the most dominant season in CRC history. No one has dominated as much as Wood Esley has this year. And people may have seen it as boring, seeing Wood Esley. Oh, there's contact there with... That was the Wigglesworth of Chandler. And Wood Esley's now without a rear wing. And he's going to have to come back to the pits. Obviously, if that was the race, he'd be out. But he's had... I'm not sure if he's broken the pole positions record yet. But he has definitely broken the most wins in a season record by quite some way as well. And he is aiming to cement that record with a final race win this weekend. He has stated he wants to get a 13th win. Before, getting those wins was Wood Esley's weak point, but this year they have just flooded towards him. Toby Jones goes to the top on a 39.7. Wow, that was an impressive time from the Coons GP. But as I said, Wood Esley secured the title in Japan with 3 races to spare. So he has really dominated the season, as Chantal Hawk goes second on a 39.9. So that was an impressive time from Chantal Hawk, considering it was her second lap on those tyres, and also she had spent the first half of the lap being held up by a slower car as well. And she's actually improved further in the first sector. So this could, if she completes the lap, because obviously she might pit. Doubt she will, to be honest. Then she could be about to go fastest. It's Rosie O'Driscoll ahead though, who's clearly struggling. But she's 8/10 up. Rosie O'Driscoll is going very slowly ahead, and she is having to back off. She does pit. I'm not sure how much that cost her. Yeah, it did cost her a lot. So, an unlucky situation for the driver that has been by far the best overtaker this season. And in the award ceremony, I think it's pretty slam dunk that that award for best overtaker is going to go to her. And she actually stated in interviews earlier in the week that even though she hasn't won a race, of course she's hoping to win one this year, she believes that this year has been her second best year after 2014. She has been very consistent this season since the tragedy of what happened to her in Austria, where she lost the win having just taken the lead. She has finished in the top 8 in every race. And we know that, I mean, consistency is something that's been really strange for her, because there would be some times throughout her career where consistency is her absolute strong point, aka in her championship year in 2014. But there have been times as well where consistency has been her weak point, aka 2015 and 2013. So, but definitely towards the second half of this year, consistency has been her strong point. As Walesi is about to start a lap. In his Yataroka. Lockie ahead. I'm not sure if he will catch her during the lap. To be honest, I think he might. But actually, he might on the straight, so that might not be too bad for him. Of course, Walesi did top the timesheets in yesterday's session. So he's actually got to really make some gains on Kerry-Ann Peace during this section, so he can pass her, which he does. So he wasn't cost any time there at all. That was very smooth for him. In fact, he might have even picked up a toe from the Lockie. So, heading into the final sector goes Woodessie, now into the penultimate corner, and then into the final corner where a lot of the lap depends on it. So across the line goes Woodessie, and I think this is about to easily be the fastest time so far in FP2. On a 1:38.644. Easily the fastest time we've had. It's going to be interesting to see what the likes of Alex Moores have in response to that. And Chantal Hawk as well. She hasn't had a properly clear lap yet. So we know that she is capable of going quicker than she has. So here is Lucy Woodward in the Banesso, who was driver of the day in Brazil after that thrilling drive to second, despite having an incident which I don't know how it didn't end her race, and having to pit for a new front wing. It was a spectacular drive. As across the line goes Lucy Woodward, and she goes up into 7th. So that was a good lap there from Lucy. Will Buchan is also on a lap, and he goes up into 6th. So far, he seems to have the edge over Woodward in this session, and which is a surprise considering what we've seen this year so far. 2 sim rounds to final corner on an improvement. It's an improvement, but it doesn't improve him from 15th. I mean, it's been a difficult season, mainly because he's been outpaced by his teammate. Which, for a former championship contender to be outpaced by a rookie is a bitter pill to swallow for him, I'm pretty sure. Even though he is only like 2 points behind now after Brazil. As into the final corner goes Marco Ifoz. And he crosses the line, he improves up to 17th. Phoebe O'Connor rounding the final corner. Is that Alex Moores ahead? No, that's Woodessie. And she goes up into 10th. Rosie O'Drick, the track seems to be improving. Alex Moores is on the circuit. On a lap. So's Chantal Hawk. So let's see what Alex Moores is capable of first, as he's on a lap. There's a Lockie ahead, not sure if she'll affect him. But it's Carter at Peace. It was Peace that almost affected Essie's further. There's a whole load of traffic ahead of Peace, or whoever that Lockie is, of Kerry-Ann Peace. 4 tenths up on his previous best is Alex Moores. So, into the final sector. 5/10 up. It's not a very fast lap, if I'm honest. Because Walesi was like around 1.4 up. So into the final corner goes Alex Moores, and he would have probably lost time in that final sector. And he only goes third, behind Dan Milliner. Let's see what Chantal Hawk can do. 1.1 second up on her previous best. That is a good first sector from Chantal Hawk. She's 1.3 off of SC at the moment. At the moment, she goes second. Providing the Tove ahead doesn't get in her way. So, into the final sector. 1.7 up. This could actually be fastest by quite some way at this rate. So, into the final corner goes Chantal Hawk. What lap time is this going to be for the Dork Racing driver? It's a 1:38.187, and that is going to really put pressure on Yanasa Roca. So 1:38.137, impressive lap from Chantal Hawk. So, with 7 minutes to go, we've got some fascinating times here. Toby Jones is on a new lap behind George Chalmer though. Rosie O'Driscoll has not been out for... Well, she is coming out for her second run now. She's currently down there in 13th, so she'll obviously be expecting to improve on that. Duran's an improvement, but has got the Baranasso ahead. And the HWR as well. So here is Lucy Woodward, who's just ahead of Kieran Hardy. Into the final corner goes Lucy Woodward, and across the line, no improvement. Oh, we've got contact here. We've got a speed tech off of Bex Howie. So what went down here? Oh, she just went onto the curb. So, got fascinating times at the moment. Toby Jones improving once again on his previous best. And he improves, but not in terms of placing. But he improves in terms of lap time. Coombe are looking good this weekend. Need to see what Rosie O'Driscoll can do on a lap where she's not being held up. And Dan Milner doesn't appear to be that willing to give her the right of way. But she's through anyway. I don't really think that cost her much time. So, into the final sector. Yep, Rosie O'Driscoll is obviously improving on her previous best. Into the final corner. Across the line. She goes up into 7th. Just behind her teammate Hannah Duran has gone up into 5th. There's only 2 minutes left of the session. Not really many improvements at the moment. But that was a fantastic lap from Chantal Hawk. I mean, she was very close to Walesi yesterday, but that lap is surely going to wake Hinata Roka up. Because Dorka has been saying all weekend they want to give Hawk that overdue win that she's been deserving for so long. So, there's a lot of motivation for Dork, for that combination of Hawk and the Dork team. So, a minute and 20 seconds left of the session. My country isn't behind by the way. I said 20 a bit early. So, we're just approaching the end of the second practice session of the final ever World Championship CRC race. Practice 3 will be live streamed tomorrow as well, as will, hopefully, if the network stays up, I'll be streaming my intentions for this weekend for a while, since I stopped streaming practice, were to go back to streaming every session this weekend, but of course, because the network wasn't back yesterday, I wasn't able to do that with CRC Practice 1. But the checkered flag is out on FP2 here at Abu Dhabi. Of course, we have the CGP3 race coming up later, where that title is going to be settled. But it is Chantal Hawk who has ended Practice 2 on top on a 1:38.137. ahead of Wellesley, a full 5 tenths behind. And Dan Milner showing impressive pace in the Master Force. So, as everyone heads into the pit, is going to be heading into the pits at the end of this session, of course. They'll have a day to analyse the data before they go to the qualifying sims tomorrow morning. And then, obviously with qualifying, and then there will be the race on Sunday, 55 laps. But thank you very much for watching. We'll see you later for the CGP3 finale.